Alright, today we're taking another look at the F-4S Phantom in War Thunder, this time in 2025. This is an updated review, following my previous breakdown back in 2024, and with how much the meta has shifted since last year, it's worth re-evaluating how the F-4S holds up today. The Phantom is a Cold War icon, and the F-4S variant brings out some unique upgrades to the table, but is it still viable in this year's meta? Let's find out. Before we talk stats and performance, here's a quick refresher on the F-4S history. This was covered more in depth in last year's video, so a quick summary is that the F-4S was originally introduced in the late 1970s. It was the final naval variant of the Phantom II. It featured slats for better low-speed handling and upgraded avionics. In War Thunder, it sits at rank 7 in the US tree, and builds on the classic Phantom design with improved agility and flexibility. So, performance-wise, the F-4S is powered by two General Electric J79 engines. It's still relatively fast in a straight line, but acceleration and energy retention lag behind some of the modern jets that have since been added to its BR range, especially after any hard turns or evasive manoeuvres. Expect to be outclimbed and outrun by many aircraft it can face, particularly in an up-tier. That said, the slats do improve low-speed agility over the older Phantoms. It's no dogfighter, but with good speed control and some anticipation, you can pull off some surprises on some opponents. Now let's take a look at the armaments that the F-4S can carry. First up, you get the AIM-7F Sparrows. These are a solid, semi-active radar homing missile with good range and pull, best used between 5 and 15 kilometers. Next up, you have the AIM-9H. These are usable infrared missiles. They are rear aspect only, however, and easily flared, compared to some of the IRCCM missiles this jet can face in its BR range. And finally is the optional 20mm gun pod. This is highly recommended. It does add weight and slightly increases your drag, but it offers solid firepower and a very high ammo count with 750 rounds. You can also carry a number of unguided bombs and rockets if that's your chosen playstyle. As for other equipment, the radar is a highlight. It includes a pulse Doppler mode for tracking low-flying targets against ground clutter, and has a helmet-mounted display, allowing you to lock targets simply by looking at them and pressing the button. This does allow for some unique tactics, though the radar itself is not as good as some of the other jets in this BR range, and its pulse Doppler velocity head-on mode can be quite limiting for targets that are not flying towards you. The radar warning receiver this jet carries is functional but can be confusing. It shows band types like mid, high and low. These are not altitude indicators that some players believe, but rather the band of the radar is detecting. Expect frequent pings from pulse radars to show up as a question mark, many of which do not give a launch warning. A high alert usually means a J-band radar, like a MiG-23, is launching an R-24 missile at you, so you should probably evade this accordingly. As for countermeasures, the F-4S carries up to 60. This is usable for sure, but is not generous by 2025 high-tier standards. You'll need to be careful with the timing and the quantity used compared to some other jets in this BR range. One example of this is the new Swiss FA-18, which can carry up to 120 countermeasures. And finally, it has a full ballistic computer for dumb bombs, rockets and guns, along with an EEGS radar gun sight, which synergizes well with the HMD for close range gunfight. Now let's take a look at the pros and cons of the F-4S Phantom II in 2025, first up with the pros. It has a versatile loadout. The AIM-7Fs and 9Hs offer a relatively reliable air-to-air performance. You can also opt for bombs or rockets, but air-to-air is where this jet truly shines. If you are base bombing, be careful not to overload on bombs, as you will slow yourself down and be beat to the bases most of the time. The HMD and radar combo are quite strong. They make target acquisition easier, even in some of the more chaotic furballs. And also, the improved handling given by the slats gives it a fighting chance at close range, compared to some of the other F4 airframes in the game. There are of course cons and drawbacks to this jet. At the end of the day, it's still a Phantom. It's large, easy to hit, and not agile enough to win dogfights against F-16s or MiG-29s. Its infrared missiles, the AIM-9H, are outclassed in this BR range, compared to some of the missiles it can face that have IRCCM and much higher pull. And finally, the low countermeasure count. While 60 is indeed workable, you'll need discipline to avoid running out in longer matches, particularly in up tiers where you need to use a lot more of these against the previously mentioned high-performance infrared missiles. Here are a few quick tips to make the most of the F-4S in the 2025 meta. First up is to master the Sparrows. The AIM-7F is still viable, especially with the HMD. Stay fast and use radar locks between 5 to 15 kilometers for consistent kills. This is of course assuming there are no game-breaking missile guidance bugs like there were at the time of recording this video. Next up is to pick the right loadout. I personally run 5 AIM-7Fs and 2 AIM-9Hs along with the gun pod. That gives you strong BVR potential and backup in a dogfight. And finally, play to your strengths, don't turn fight when possible. Use your speed and the HMD to control fights from range and catch targets off guard. So, the real question, is the F-4S still worth flying in 2025? If you're grinding the US air tree, yes, especially on sale. Whilst it is definitely a missile focused jet and lacks some of the flashy guided weapons for multi-role, it teaches good habits for radar usage and positioning without being too punishing, facing advanced radar warning receivers and Fox 3 missiles of the higher tier jets. There are of course many options now for premium grinders for the US tree, from the lower BR dogfighter, the F-5C, the F-20A, which sits at a slightly higher BR than the F-4S, along with the newer F-18C early. The main negative of the F-20A and the F-18 is they will often get up-tiered more often, against many opponents which have much bigger performance gaps, equipment and armament improvements, not to mention the active radar homing missiles that the F-18 will often face when it is up-tiered. This means the F-4S may be a slightly better option, as the highest tier it will see is 13.0, though the F-4S is certainly a jet that would benefit if there was a further round of BR decompression in the airtech trees in-game. If you're a ground RB player looking for an instant cast to add to your lineup, you'll probably want to skip this one. While it can carry a wide array of dumb ordnance, there are much better dedicated premium cast jets in the US tech tree available, such as the AV-8B and A with its guided bombs. And that wraps up our updated breakdown of the F-4S Phantom in War Thunder in 2025. Do you still fly the F-4S? Did you pick it up in this year's summer sale? Or are you considering picking it up when it next gets a discount? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button for more War Thunder content. We're pushing toward 1,000 subscribers. And also, just to mention, channel memberships are available, so if you want to support the channel even further, this is a great way. Thanks for watching.